Yeah, I enjoy a enduro weekend because you just like you spend so much time riding your bike, and then same training as well. Like you just get out and about, and
Yeah.
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 But yeah, I'd love to do more of the hard stuff like that. That stuff is so much fun. That's one of the coolest events that I've been to this year,
Cool.
and like the after coming from a UCI event where pretty much like if you try and do anything that isn't like by the book, I suppose, in the UCI, it's just like it's not possible, it's not possible. Whereas like having Red Bull running your event, they were so good. Like you kind of they'd like first of all you get an appearance fee to go, so they like pay you just to ride the event, which is awesome. And
Yeah.
then they look after you so well, like they like have breakfast and dinner and lunches all sorted for you, and they you rock up in the morning, have a rider's briefing. They're like, "Oh, what time do you want to practice today? Like, what section of the course do you want to practice?" And it's like it feels like a really, really like well supported event
So,
that way. So yeah, it's definitely a big change after coming from like UCI events to then doing something like that. And
yeah.
then just like the style as well, like mixing racing with like big jumps is yeah super fun. So that I really like that style.
Yeah, well, obviously that definitely suits your skill set. Do you think, obviously, they've had two events this year. Rumors are that they might try and add a third event into the series. Do you think that might become a bigger race series, maybe a 5, 6 series event in that series? And if so, is that something that you would contemplate maybe focusing on full time?
I think so. Yeah, yeah. I think a couple of extra events would be super cool. I think my like personal take on that style of event is because there are so few of them. That's why people are so excited by it.
Yeah,
So I think like 3 or 4 would probably be the max a year
yeah,
you would want to do
yeah.
potentially, and then if you could continually like change up the venues, I think that would keep people excited. But I've heard yeah, hear a few whispers here and there of maybe some other venues they could have, so like extra rounds,
Yeah.
which would be if they yeah I think if they did have a couple of more events, it could be something that you could focus on as a series and like invest your energy into, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I think like for a sponsor, I suppose like it feels like the amount of coverage that comes out of like one hardline event is almost more coverage than you get from like an entire season of racing enduro.
Sure,
Just like the
100%.
no
Yeah,
matter no matter what you're doing at that event, there's a camera pointed at you somewhere.
yeah,
That's just like the amount of like photos and videos and everything interviews you get from that one event is huge exposure.
yeah, definitely. And everybody's you know s- checking every different avenue out to try and get the coverage from that, whether it's the first hits on a certain jump or who's
Yeah,
jumped the furthest or who's over jumped something or whatever.
yeah,
It's super exciting. And from doing that, obviously you're really really good at all that stuff as well as racing enduro. You're a brilliant all-round rider. Have you had any success with sponsors like wanting to come on board with you as an athlete because you can do well at the enduro races and also compete in hardline and do well at that? Is that opened any more doors up for you?
for sure. I think that's definitely something that's like been exciting for my current sponsors because I think with that they can kind of throw me on any bike or any gear and I can go and do something for them.
Yeah,
And then like you have it seems like for a hardline event you have a completely different audience to an enduro event, and then even doing like start some videos and that sort of thing on social media is like another audience again. So I think I think yeah, it's definitely like having like a broader focus for me is something that's like been beneficial to my sponsors.
hmm,
And then same for me as well because it's like I just enjoy bike riding and
yeah,
that's just what I want to do. So yeah, if I like focus too heavily on one thing, I seem to lose interest, I suppose. So like having a bit of a broad range and like a broad focus to train for, and then even just like riding down bikes, riding enduro bikes, and then just like jibbing around is just something that keeps me stoked on it all.